Hi, I'm Wes Platt, Executive Editor of School Bus Fleet. Welcome to The Route, our ongoing content series. Our guest today is Wayne Reese from Cache County and Logan City Schools in Utah. He's our School Bus Fleet 2021 Administrator of the Year, and it's an honor to have him here today. Before we hit the road, be sure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comments are always welcome. Okay, let's get rolling. Now, Wayne, a few things stood out about you as we were considering all the great nominees that we received this year at School Bus Fleet, including the fact that you actually managed transportation services for 2 districts and that you were able to run those services during the past year and a half without laying anybody off. What did you think when you found out that Jeff Barbin at Logan City Schools had nominated you for Administrator of the Year?
Well, I was very grateful and I feel very honored at the recognition, not simply for myself, but for the wonderful team members that I've over the years been able to work with. This isn't simply a reflection of the work I've done, but I acknowledge that it's a reflection of work of so many people who I've been fortunate to work with, and grateful for Jeff. I was surprised and even more surprised at the not only the nomination, but the recognition, but just very grateful. Humbled also because I know so many great transportation leaders throughout the nation who really have made a difference in students' lives and in families' lives, and just grateful for their examples.
Outstanding. So give us a sense of perspective. How many students do you transport each day, and how many people work for you in the 2 districts?
We're transporting, we just finished our reports for the year, and we're transporting 12,280 some odd students to school and back every day so far this year. We have a staff of about 185 that work in our transportation department between the 2 school districts, operating 150 school buses, just under 2 million miles a year.
Now, is your team starting to prep for winter, and what's involved in getting your bus fleet ready for the cold weather?
We do have cold weather.
Yeah.
We have operated school buses when it's been 40 below zero, and that's always an exciting time. Yes, we are preparing for winter, both in emergency notification lists so that we have communication with parents on snow days or delayed starts, on conditions. We live in a valley that can vary from one end of the valley to the other end of the valley weather-wise. So it's not like we can just do a blanket, but we may have a bus route in a certain area that just is not able to make that route. So we have communication we're working on with parents, notifications if a bus is delayed, if it's not able to make that route that morning. We're also looking at the mechanics of the buses. We have preheaters on all of our school buses so that when the bus driver arrives at the bus, the antifreeze in the bus has already been warmed at 180 degrees so that we've got heat fairly quickly for the school buses for the children because of the cold. So we're making sure they're all working. And in addition to, we have some buses, we have tire chains on. They're putting the chains, they're automatic chains, and our shop is putting the chains on the spinner wheels that go down to help in slick conditions. So we have a number of things we're working on to make sure we're ready for winter.
That sounds good. I'm a little spoiled because I'm in the Southeast and in Durham, and we don't, we're lucky if we get snow, period. And if there is a snow day in Durham, chances are they're just going to cancel school for that day and not even worry about transportation. But yeah, I hear people from out west in places like Utah or up in Buffalo, New York, who laugh at me when I tell them that my kids are out for school one day when it snows and we get like an inch of snow. So good to hear that's well underway for you guys. All right, so We're going to shift focus for a bit. We're going to take everybody on a detour. Now, we go into this some in the feature that we published in School Bus Fleet, but tell our viewers how you got your start with Cache County and Logan City Schools.
Well, I live out in Benson, Utah, just a small farming community of about 600 people. And a friend of mine was driving a school bus for the school district. And I, of course, was working on my family farm. And he and I were serving in a religious setting together, helping youth. And they had a driver who left, and he says, "We really need help. Could you come and help us?" And he told me the times. I said, "Well, I could probably do that. I could get my milking done in the morning and go drive that school bus and do the same thing in the afternoon." And so that's what got me started. And that good friend and I spent a lot of years driving together.
All right, we're on our way to the last stop on the route for this week. What would you say is your top guiding philosophy as a transportation administrator?
People matter, and student safety is paramount. We're all about people, both those who drive our school buses and provide the support for those who drive our school buses, the patrons who send their children on our school buses, and especially the students who ride our school buses. That's why we do what we do. And so our ability to, as I mentioned before in the article, I think sometimes we tend to let what we cannot do get in the way of what we can do. Because we can't do something, we just stop there instead of finding something that we can do for them. And I think if we do that with our people, if we do that with our students, we find that we have a great working relationship and better safety record, I believe.
Okay, well said. What advice do you have for someone who might just be getting their start in this field, especially when we're at a time when the technology is evolving, while districts across the country are struggling with personnel issues and driver shortages?
What I've always tried to do and what I suggest for someone new is to immerse yourself in learning in various things, and don't just stick to learning about school buses. Open your horizons. There's technology out there with some of the best conferences I've attended have been conferences that had to do with automobiles and with trucks, because of the technology that you see is there, and then you can anticipate that it will eventually make it to our school buses. And so I would be broad in what I learn as far as fleets and vehicles. And sometimes if we stick to one thing, we may miss things that are coming, may miss opportunities to bring things into our districts and into our fleets that we don't know about if we're only focused on school bus. And
Okay.
the education side as well. Know what teachers are doing and what administrators are dealing with so that you can support them.
Fantastic. Now, one last question, then I'm going to let you go off on your next outdoor adventure. What keeps you coming back to work every day?
I have a great team, and I just enjoy them. We have fun. They're younger than I am, and so I'm at the stage that it's fun to watch them learn, and I enjoy that. And I also feel so much support with the team. I also feel support from the districts, both Cache and Logan's districts, school boards and administrators who are so supportive of transportation. So, it's just a good place to work. I feel like what we do is valued, and I feel like I'm still learning, and I hope never to stop learning. And so, and in addition to that, my wife keeps telling me I have to come to work.
Well, and I think it's important in any field, any job, if you're not learning and you're not engaged by what you're doing, there's not a whole lot of point to it, right? So that's
Absolutely.
one of the reasons I love about this job, is that I'm learning as I go along. So talking to folks like you helps immensely in that regard. So that's been great.
Yeah.
Well, it's time to park the bus for now. I want to thank Wayne Reese for joining as my guest, and thanks to you for watching. Post your thoughts in the comments and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of The Route. Send email to west.platt@bobbit.com. Tweet us at schoolbusfleet. Drive safely, and see you next time on The Route.